If your website explains everything that you do, but you're finding that it's not getting you as many sales or bookings as you'd like, this video is going to be for you. Now, websites are an amazing tool because they work for your business 24/7. Now, if people aren't making decisions on their website, what most people do at this stage is they default to a redesign. And this is not a redesign problem. This is a decision-making problem. So most founder-led businesses are going to hit a certain stage where the website looks professional, the copy reads well, and it even answers some of the questions that your prospect may have. But people will hesitate, and when you get on a sales call with them, you find yourself explaining the same things over and over. And this is frustrating because you've built something real, you're not guessing, and you're not early stage. So when people understand what you do, what you offer, but they still don't take action, it's confusing. Here's what's happening. And this is what I've learned after doing over 800 marketing related calls last year. Most websites are built to actually be informative, not a decisional making tool. So they're designed to explain what you do, but not help people choose. So when people see the information, they say yes, they nod, they agree. But when it comes time to act, they're left wondering, what's the next step? They ask, what do I do next? Is this right for me? What happens if I wait? And then when that direction is missing, the safest action to take is to not do anything at all. And that is why your website may be slowing down the decision-making process for your clients. The bigger your business gets, the more expensive this hesitation becomes. So in this video, I'm going to show you why explaining more doesn't fix this, what your website should be responsible for, and how to shift from explaining everything, helping the right people buy without rewriting your entire site. Let's get right into it. For those of you who are new here to the channel, my name is Jordi-Lakeem Foster, a marketing system strategist here in New York City. And over the last decade, I've worked with clients like H&M, New York University, Paramount Studios, the Bronx District Attorney's Office, and my most recent campaign, which I am very, very proud of, is the Ezra 100 anniversary marketing campaign that I led, and they're a real estate firm. So what I'm going to share with you is what I've pulled from the over 700 clients that I've worked with, both in corporate and small businesses and everyday people. And this is going to be the foundation of what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. So let's get into it. The problem is your website is doing its job, but it's just not doing the one that you're thinking. So your website may look professional, it may answer questions, it may explain what you do, and yet people don't move. And this is why, or what I sketched out, is actually happening behind the scenes. When somebody learns a new concept, they start realizing that behind the scenes, there are many, many steps in order for them to get to action. So when, for example, if somebody wanted to start a YouTube channel, they may get on YouTube to learn how to start a YouTube channel. The minute that they start learning how to set up the lights, how to write scripts, how to write a description, how to record a video, how to set up lights, by the time they start realizing all these steps that they have to take, when you're informing them and teaching them and explaining everything, the pathway to action gets crowded with all these steps. The purpose of any good sales, any good website, in my opinion, is to take them on the scenic route. So clients, in a way, they want to be assured that you indeed know what you are doing. And at the same time, they don't want to be bothered with every single step in the process. They want to know that you can get them, that you can set up the lights, that you can write the script, that you can write the description, that you can record the video and get them to doing the YouTube video. They don't want to know every single step. And that is one of the reasons why your website isn't doing the job that you think. So the principle here is that when you explain something to somebody, it does not get them into action. That's just how humans work. Why? We have to ask God. Now, here's some false assumptions that people typically make when they have an amateur graphic designer or somebody do their website for them. They mistakenly believe that selling is forcing people to do something, but that is just not the case. Selling is not forcing. Selling, good selling, in Jordy's opinion, it helps to remove friction, meaning you get on the same page with your client about what they want to do, when they want to do it, and giving them a clear start path. When you give clear direction, it reduces the amount of thinking that your clients have to do, because you have to remember your clients are busy. They have many other priorities that they want to do, and the time it would take them to learn this thing is going to sacrifice a lot of their revenue, and that is just not a place that they want to be in. So you may think that, all right, if I'm making this stuff and I'm giving people the next steps, the DIYers are going to come in, take the information. And guess what? Some of them are going to do that. But the people that are the BUIers, the buyers are the ones that are going to see the next steps and say, okay, this is the person I'm going to go with. And here is the main reason here that I'm going to zoom all the way in on. Action requires a reason and a path, not just more information. So a pathway, you have to paint a picture of the path for your clients. So a website that sells well makes decisions easier. And by human nature, the easiest thing to do is to not do anything if you don't know what to do. Now, your website should guide decisions, not host information. So most people are just using their website as another digital brochure that is just not helping them to grow their business. So if you want to move your website in the direction of leading with the outcome people want, you have to name a problem they recognize. And this is because your clients think in terms of the problems that they're facing at this moment. They're not thinking of, like, for example, let's use a weight loss example. If somebody wants to lose weight, they're not thinking of, man, I got to do 3 sets of Russian squats. Right? They're not thinking of that. They're not thinking of, all right, I need to put myself on a better nutrition plan. No, they're just thinking of the fact that they're fat and they want to lose weight. So when you name the problem they recognize, you want to show what happens if they don't act. Well, if you don't create, so for example, if you want to lose weight, if you don't decide to change your nutrition and do Belgian, Russian squats, then you're gonna still be fat. Next, after you identify the problem, you show them what happens if they don't act. Now you want to say, hey, the very first thing you want to do is you want to take this free weight loss assessment, so that way you can help them come up with a free nutrition plan or something like that. And you want to do this to zoom them in, right? If this was a magnifying glass, you zoom them in right into the problem so that they could focus on the problem. So now, the best websites, what do the best websites do that the other websites don't do? They just prioritize the right decision. As experts, we know that there are a million ways to tackle one problem because we've been through the cycle of that many, many times. But a framework that I love to use, and this has been working in my sales calls, this has been working even in text message conversations. I identify the problem, I paint a picture of what the outcome, and I'm very clear in everything that I do what the next step is. Do I want you to reply to this email, like this post, leave a comment? Everything has to be directed. So there's a study where they gave some shoppers 24 choices of jam. And you may say, wow, that's pretty exciting. They get to try every flavor of jam in the world. So this attracted 60% of the shoppers in the market, but only 3% of them bought. Next, they decided, well, okay, since only 3% of people bought, let's make it only 6 jams. So now from 24 to 6 choices. So they reduced the whole load, and they said, all right, now this only attracted 40% of shoppers, but now 30% of shoppers bought the jam. What does that mean? When you have too many offers, people get confused. That is what this means. When you have too many offers, people get confused. So you want to narrow what you do down to the essential choices. And that is actually the genius of the iPhone. Apple said, we are going to give you the iPhone 13, the iPhone 17. When you look at Samsung, they're going to give you the Samsung Galaxy S22, the Galaxy SGE 55, the ABC Dare headlight. They give you too many options. And for people that are older, you will find that they're confused about what phone to buy next. Whereas if you have an iPhone, you just get the next iPhone 17 in line because that's just the next choice. Apple realized that when they reduce the amount of options that people have to sift through, they have better sales. So what does this look like in the wild? Well, in the wild, I'm going to show you 3 examples where there is a core idea. So I'm going to show you how one headline will shift behavior. I'm going to show you not the before and after. I'm just going to show you how the headline leads people into what they need to do. So this is one client that I have. They are a educational consulting company. And let's look at the headline. It says, what if your school could improve attendance, empower families, and build future-ready students starting this semester? Over 60 NYC schools have already seen the difference. Join the movement that's transforming student lives and school outcomes in real time. Get started. Very, very clear directions. Next, we have our good friends over at Walmart. Let's look at what Walmart says. The minute you land on their website, they says thousands of savings. Don't miss out. The end of year clearance is on. Shop now. I think it's very clear that they're having an end of year clearance sale and that we need to shop. Let's look at another one right here. Level Up in NYC. Well, the word level up in NYC doesn't really mean much. It could probably mean level up in NYC. And then here it says, we share high quality networking, social and career events in NYC. We help you build your network, increase your income, scale your impact, and have fun while doing it. Trusted by 11,500 ambitious professionals. So when you look at this, when you look at these 3 examples are giving you a very clear decision-making path. One is going to help you improve your school's attendance. The next one is to shop. And the next one is going to help you level up in NYC. So if these examples in this video was helpful and if it helped you make you rethink anything in your business, don't rush to fix it yet. I created a tool that you can find in the description below called the Marketing Scorecard that will help you to see what's working and what's not. The link is below, and in just 5 minutes, you'll have a clear picture of what deserves your attention. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please subscribe, share with a friend. Peace.